Hello everyone, welcome back to the 6th episode of podcast from Innovativeastrosolutions. In the last episode, we saw the three types of karma: Sanchita, Prabdha and Agami. In the present birth, we inherit finite portion of Prabdha karma, which is indicated in the horoscope. When did the karma cycle started? And how did it all started? Is there a possibility to break free karma? We are going to see insights of all these questions in this episode. As discussed in the last episode, the first action sets the karma and the cause and effect cycle continue from there. Why did the first action created karma in first place? As said by Lord Krishna, the intention sets the karma rather than action. When we do our action with an intention, the karma cycle starts kicking in. If the intention is pure, it results in punya, which results in shuka. So you will be born to enjoy the shuka. If the intention is impure, it results in paba, which in turn results in dukkha. So you will be born to suffer the dukkha. Until an action is done with intention, be it a good or bad, the birth is certain. But where did the intention come from? The intention comes from attachment. When I am attached to a person or things, automatically the intention to keep it with myself comes in. Both good and bad action comes due to attachment. When an action is performed without an attachment or desire, the karma sets free. This is what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Only the Atman does live infinitely. Before the Lord, surrender fully and free yourself from rebirth. Karma is not a linear chain as most think. It is a circular cause and effect chain. The circle has no start and end, and so the karmic chain. Until we have attachment, we will keep moving in karmic chain. Understanding the true nature, that is self-realization, breaks the karmic chain, and thus burning all the karmic actions. The word self-realization may look simple, but indeed it's a complex. The self-realization starts with self-enquiry of who am I? If I am not this body and if I am not this mind, who am I? If someone finds the true answer to this, they become self-realized soul and they set free from karmic cycle. And if someone sets free of karmic cycle, his soul is beyond birth and death and hence beyond all planetary influence. There is one important question: what happened after self-realization? Do they die immediately? Swami Vivekananda answered this beautifully with an example. Let me reiterate here. Two wheels joined by one pole running together. If I get hold one of the wheels and with an axe cut the pole asunder, the wheel which I got hold of stops, but the other wheel is its past momentum, so it runs on a little and then fall down. This pure and perfect being, the soul, which is one wheel, and this external hallucination of body and mind is the other wheel, joined together by the pole of work of karma. The knowledge is the axe which will sever the bond between the two, and the wheel of the soul will stop. Stop thinking that it is coming and going, living and dying. Stop thinking that it is nature and has wants and desires, and you will find its perfect desireless. But upon the other wheel, that of the body and mind, will be the moment of past acts, so it will live for some time until the moment of past work is exhausted, until that momentum is worked away and the body and mind fall, and the soul becomes free. No more is there any going to heaven and coming back, not even any going to the Brahmaloka or to the any highest of the sphere. For where is he to come from or to go to? The man who has in this life attained to the state, for whom for a minute at least the ordinary vision of the world has changed and the reality has been apparent, and he is called the living free. So this episode concludes that self-realization is the key to set free of karmic chain. Once the karmic chain is set free, we are all free from the planetary influence. Until then, we are all going to have the names and forms and birth and death, and this vicious cycle continues. Astrology is the only time telescope in the world of Maya.
Thank you, Muthu sir, for giving me opportunity to ask the question. My question is based on horoscope. Can judge how many birth and rebirth cycles exist for the native horoscope? Once again, thank you.
Thank you, Krishnamurthy, for asking this question. As discussed in this episode, the cycle of cause and effect is not a linear chain as many think. If it is a linear chain, then there would be an end at some point. Ideally, the cycle of birth stops at the end. As per Hindu philosophy, the karmic chain is circular in nature, so it has no start or end. As the soul becomes mature and becomes aware of its true nature, it will come to a stage where it can break free the chain. Once the chain is broken, the soul goes beyond birth and death. Let me explain a little deeper. As per Advaita Vedanta, the ignorance is the cause of entering into the world of Maya. As we enter into the world of Maya, we stuck in the cycle of karma and continue to have birth and death. Now, how do we remove this ignorance, and when did this ignorance of self started? The answer is ignorance is timeless. It has no start. It may be a little bit confusing to you, but that is the truth for all kind of ignorance. Let me explain with an example. Let us say you are ignorant of a particular language, say French. If I ask you from when you don't know French, what would be your answer? Is it from your birth? Or is it from the day when you went to school? Or is it from the day when you learn other language? You cannot say any concrete answer that from when you don't know the French, right? So the ignorance has no start time, but it has end. The moment you start learning the French, the ignorance keeps going away inch by inch. Once you master the language of French, you are no more ignorant of French, right? Similarly, we humans are ignorant of our true self and stuck in the world of Maya. The knowledge about true self removes the ignorance, and it will eventually help you to break the chain of karma. Secondly, in the cycle of karma, the horoscope is indicating only finite portion of prarabdha karma. With this limited information of prarabdha karma, you cannot decode the big chain of karma one have. It is believed that the self-realized soul can find the karmic chain of another person. That is why it is commonly believed Swami Ramakrishna was instantly able to identify Swami Vivekananda's potential when he met him first. To answer your question, we cannot find how many birth and death one will have from the horoscope. In fact, the purpose of this life is not to know how many birth and death we have, but to know the true self and break free the karmic chain. I hope this have given some clarity to you. Thank you again for asking this question. Thank you, listeners. We have come to the end of this episode. If you have any questions in this episode or any of the previous episodes, please feel free to record your questions in a voice message and send to my WhatsApp number. Please make a note of my WhatsApp number. It is 90084772228. Let me repeat, 90084772228. Thank you again to all the listeners. Meet you again in another episode.